Hello guys, this is Afro Youth Corner. We greet you all. We have a new artist we're going to present. Be ready for that.
My name is Marvin Mugabo. I am an artist and student here living in Poland and especially in a small city called Toronto.
Specifically, he's from
Rwanda, yeah.
He's from Rwanda. When did you start doing this?
Well, it's a long story, but I started becoming interested in art when I was young, about 7 years old, and I grew up in a family where we had a lot of artists. So that's where I get my interest. So from 7 years old, I started sketching, drawing on my notebooks at school, drawing on blackboard for the teacher, and yeah.
When did you realize that this is something that I really like? How did you find out? How did you found out that this is something, this is my talent?
It's interesting you asked that question because I was thinking about it the other day, how I came to choose to pursue art.
Yeah.
Because back in high school I did, I took electronics and telecommunication and about senior 5, and that's grade 11 maybe for the international standard. Yes, in grade 11, I was sitting with my classmate, and his name is Janvier. So I asked him, because he knew that we had a lot of passion in so many things. We love doing electronic stuff. We love doing editing, practicing editing videos and stuff, doing 3D modeling with other software. We were playing around on computers. So we had a lot of common interests, and then I asked him, what do you think I should follow? Do you think I should follow electronics or I should follow art? And then he said, you should follow what you love. And I think that was a good answer that he gave me. So I just sat down later at that day and I asked myself an honest question. Would you be happy pursuing electronics for the rest of your life, or would you be happy becoming an artist? And I was like, okay. It was a hard conclusion to make, but long story short, I ended up, choosing art.
Wow. When did you make like your first, how do they call it, board?
Painting?
Yeah, painting.
It was in 2017, and to be honest, it was horrible, It was my first painting, and it was horrible, but the second one, it was just, I needed some time to get used to the new.
Do you still have it?
I wanted to, but I don't remember where it is right now. Yeah, so I always want to keep something that will remind me where I began, especially with the Papercraft. I still have the first paperboard that I made.
Do?
Yeah.
Wow.
The good thing my mother kept it, so whenever I go back home I can see it. It's still in the house. But my first painting, I don't have it. I think I don't. Yeah.
Wow. And how does living in Poland influence your art?
It influenced my art in a more positive way than I did not expect it. But people love the Papercraft thingy. By the way, the Papercraft, these are the crafts that I make out of recycled newspapers, and maybe we will see some of them around. And I do training sometimes, and in collaboration with the Welcome Center at our university, and they've managed to help me engage with the foundations here and at the culture house around here in Toronto. And from that collaboration I started conducting some workshops, putting together some people, like young people, children, old people. I've worked with the Blind Society, Don Culture and Foundation, Duha Foundation, where they're going to host my second exhibition.
Oh, so
I had an exhibition here as well. So a lot of activity. People here, they appreciate art in a more unique way, and I've been able to connect with them through my art. Yeah.
And do you meet some challenge as an African living in Poland, like trying to pursue like this art?
I wouldn't say it's a challenge. Well, it is a challenge because I have to be patient because everything takes time. But however, I can see progress.
Wow.
Yeah, I can see progress because in 1 year or 2 years, I've been able to achieve the things that I wasn't expecting.
Wow.
So I will say there is a part of challenge behind, but the challenge that I count is language barrier. I don't know how to speak Polish yet. I don't know.
But did you start learning?
Yeah, I started learning, but a lot of activity came in with school and work, and then finding time to go and study Polish. It was not, I don't know how I can say it. I couldn't pursue it. I couldn't.
It was hard to manage.
Yeah, it was hard to manage. That's a good way to put it. But I would love to learn the language because whenever I meet with people, they really want to talk to me. Yeah. But I always run to my other colleagues who always translate for me. So, but eventually I would love to learn Polish and be able to communicate with people. Yeah.
How does doing art and handcraft reflect to your experience as African living in Poland?
Yeah. Oh well, it's a good question. Let's see. Well, I've been living here for 2 years, like I mentioned, and the first 6 to 7 months, I didn't know anyone, so I was just kind of moving around, trying to find my way. But when I started, pursuing my passion again through art, that's when I started connecting with people, especially from where I studied at school and through the community of the town where I studied at. And through the workshop that I mentioned, I've been able to have some connection with people who want to help me to set up an exhibition for my art. I had my first exhibition back from May this year.
May I ask you something?
Yeah.
How was the exhibition and
Oh, it was amazing.
How was the impression?
The exhibition took place in an ethnographic museum. I wasn't expecting that. It's more like Murukari in Rwanda. Wow. So it's a cultural place. It's a cultural museum.
They took your work to another river.
Yes. Yes. So in ethnographic museum, so thank God the people from all the foundations where I managed to conduct some exhibition, they sent some people to support and be there. Wow. And what else? At my university, they supported, they funded the exhibition as well. Wow. So I had a lot of funds from different organizations through my art. I was able to have a lot of support because of my art. Wow. So I would say it is the art is influencing my life in Poland, first of all, in terms of engaging with the community, in terms of having opportunities to take my art to the next level, and also financially, in more unexpected way. When I started volunteering to conduct this workshop, it was for free because it's something that I enjoyed. But eventually, they started paying. They paid me, and I go there to conduct this exhibition, and I get to have some money from something I love, and I like it. And I'm looking forward for more. I see more coming. So Yeah, it's a great experience I'm having here.
It's about it's art.
Mhm.
It's like a frame of
Mhm.
a painting.
Mhm.
How does do you call it?
Yeah, it's a painting.
Yeah, it's how like if you can remember,
Mhm.
which painting did you make that really make you so happy, so that excited you?
There's the one I call Family Tree.
Family tree.
Oh, family. No, it's a family photo. Yeah, it's family photo.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe we'll put it on the screen.
Yeah.
So it's an abstract painting,
Mhm.
but it reflects a family photo.
What advice can you give someone who has talent and really want to, maybe they are still confused or they think that it's not possible? What advice or what the message can you?
Well, there's a lot of things to tell them, but not to overwhelm them. I
Mhm.
would say there's not a good time to start. Apart from now, you know. Now it's a good time to start pursuing something you love doing.
Mhm.
If it's dance, if it's doing painting as well, if it's speaking to people, there's a lot of talent. So
Wow.
there is not a specific time in the future for you to practice your artwork or your what I can say, talent or passion in what it is that you're interested in.
Mhm.
Apart from now, this is a good time to, go out and talk to people if that's what you do. Go out and participate in different way. Go out and make your work. Just create now,
Mhm.
And then this is also a good time to make mistake because you have to have that time to suck at something, to not be good at anything at all.
Mhm.
And yeah, so I will tell them to go and just have fun. Be kind enough to leave a room for their passion, and say, I'm going to spend money for this because I love doing it. I know some people will not understand it,
Mhm.
but I see something in this, and I see that in my vision. Someday it will become clear to people, and that's what I did as well. Because if I can say a few words with this Papercraft,
Mhm.
I didn't know what I was doing when I started.
Mhm.
I didn't learn it. I was self-taught
Mhm.
to make Papercraft, and like I say, the first one was horrible. I mean. Okay, my mother gave me credit
What
because
was
she
the
was my
idea?
biggest
What
fan.
was the idea? Were you thinking about like making this, or were you just praying?
Oh, okay. The idea is also interesting if you want to hear it.
Why not?
Okay. I was in senior 5, grade 11, yeah?
Mhm.
Okay. It was in an exam period,
Mhm.
right? And then, like every other time during exam period, they always tell us to leave our draft, our exam paper in the classroom.
Mhm.
If we don't need them, if we are not going to keep them,
Mhm.
instead of just taking them outside and then start chopping them and throwing them around the school to make it dirty, just leave them in the room, and then so that we will have a clean school. But then I remember this one day I had a math exam. After the exam, I didn't think about what I did during the exam. I just thought about the paper, Why did they tell us to leave the papers in the classroom?
Mhm.
It's because they want us to make the school dirty.
Mhm.
But then why is this valuable commodity lose value, which is just within 2 hours of exam?
Mhm.
I didn't know where paper come from at that time,
Mhm.
but I started just coming up with this interesting question. I was like, okay, where does paper come from? Why does it have value only for 2 hours?
Wow.
Yeah? That was an interesting question to myself. And then I went on the internet, found out the paper they are made from the trees.
Mhm.
I was like, okay. I learned the process of making the paper, which is very energy costly. There's a lot of things that goes to make paper. Then, long story short, I ended up just trying to find a way to turn the paper into something valuable.
Wow.
Instead of having it become valuable for 2 hours and then throw them away.
Wow.
I was like, okay, let me find a way to make this thing last for a little longer. So that's where my passion of starting to practice papercraft came from. I just set out as an artist, what can I contribute to this? How can I solve this problem? Because if I think it in terms of becoming an engineer or electronics, which is what I was studying, I was like, okay, I will have to make machines so that I can recycle them and make papers again, right? But then, because I chose to become an artist, I started thinking about how to contribute my art skills into this in an artistic way, okay?
Yeah.
The long story short, that's when I started practicing this.
Wow.
Yeah. Thank you.
I don't even have the word but to express this, but I'm really like, I don't know what to say. And the last question, what really motivates you?
Okay. Thank you for those questions. So what I would say as a motivation to me, even not being motivated is also motivation.
Wow.
Because I do most of my best work when I'm tired, when I'm exhausted, when I'm sleepy. I can even wake up at night and have something in mind, and I have to just go and sketch it somewhere and make sure that I don't lose the idea. But I would say the appreciation of the art, my art from people, that also motivates me. And looking at other people who are doing art, that is also a motivation to me. And yeah, what else? Yeah, I would say that's my main motivation. And other, like music, I love music. I love listening to music when I'm painting or doing any particular work. I would say those are my main motivation. And what I can say to maybe the people who are coming abroad, I would say it's very important to develop particular skills, you know.
When you see young.
Yeah, for the guys or boys, if you know how to shave hair, that's a good way to set up a business here. There's a lot of people who, man, they will look for you to shave their hair. They will look for you as a girl to braid, that's a braiding, right?
Yeah.
To braid their hair.
To braid my
yeah. What else? If you can learn how to drive, that's also a job, like a business.
Yeah.
You can employ yourself here if you have a driving license. And you know, those smaller skills that are very necessary in life. Not only the skills at school, even though it's always to make sure that you know, learn, let's say, learn how to do photography, make videos and stuff. This is something that is developing. I mean, the whole spectrum of jobs, they are changing, you know. But if you know how to do some physical work, something tangible, that will also help you, you know, do something here. Or even your passion, if you know how to sing, everything, anything here is necessary. That's what I saw here. But anyway, what more I can say is just having some discipline, you know, be patient. And there's a lot of challenges here. It's outside of Africa. So you're going to face with a lot of unexpected reaction
So
with some people. You're so exposed. And you might also meet some restless, so this is something you should expect, but always keep yourself sane all day. Just calm and humble yourself and learn some discipline, and you will make your way into these countries. Yeah.
Yeah, and this is a very last question I'm going to ask you before I really thank him and and end the show. I want to ask you, as someone who've moved from Africa, from Rwanda to Poland to abroad, especially, and anyone who has moved like from home to anywhere outside the country, and what a life lesson, what a lesson that life has taught you.
Okay. The life had taught me that anything you neglect in life, it will eventually affect you, will come back to you. Like for instance, it's a simple thing, but if you just think about it, it's not simple. Obviously, I like doing art, but I've always wanted to learn how to drive, right? But sometimes I'm like, I don't need to drive. I can take bus, I can take public transport and all that. But when I got here, I saw how important it is. It is even a diploma as well to have a driving license. So right now, as I grow up, it's even something necessary. You know, you might be in someone in the car. I mean, the two of you, and imagine how big this country is. Maybe you're traveling across the country and he's having a problem and you're the one to drive now. That's a life, right? You have to be ready for that as a person who is grown up, 20-something years old. You need to know how to drive. And that's simple, but also not only that you need to know to drive for that, but it contributes to your way of life by giving you an opportunity to create a job for yourself. So if you think of it that way, there's another things that you can cope with that idea and understand that everything is valuable in life. Just
in short words, I can say, learn when you can.
Yes, learn when you can.
Yeah, and I really thank you for giving me your time. I really appreciate, and I like what you do. And in French, how do they say? They say courage, what?
Yeah.
Well, and it was really good. I mean, this is like African art.
Influence.
Yes. Yeah, I was like, oh my god, I'm going to cry.